Hello everybody, my name is Rolak. Welcome back to Donkey Kong 64. In the last episode, we got started on Crystal Caverns, just kind of wandering about the place. My mic audio died near the end of the last episode, so we're going to be doing some post-commentary stuff. And I have with me my good friend, Blue Q, aka Braden, to join along on the ride so that I don't go crazy. But that is becoming soon.
Yeah,
Say hi.
Why would you ask for my help not to go crazy?
I could just do that on my own.
You know what I'm like. You know what I'm like when we're not trying to capture it. Yes, so
This is take 3.
let's keep that ambiguous. We've recorded this N+1 number of times, but I got a real good feeling about this one.
Yeah. Fresh reset. Hopefully nothing goes wrong.
Yeah, we've all taken our time to get things ready, and technical difficulties have tried to keep you from getting this Let's Play, but we're not going to let that happen.
No. Have apparently find out that 3 of my videos have none of my mic recording audio at all. It's just a flat line of nothing. Next day, I ask my good buddy here if we can do some post-commentary stuff together. Later that night, I throw the fuck up so hard I don't want to live anymore. I'm done for like 2 days. Fast forward to now, which is like 5 days later. I come home from work to find out that my power is out due to some unexplainable reason. And then
unforeseen circumstances.
We do one recording, find out that the audio for Braden wasn't properly recording, so we redid that. Then about halfway into the second one, my computer crashes. So we're having fun. We're all having fun. Everything's fun. Everything's going great.
This is a DIY playthrough of Donkey Kong 64. We've built this Let's Play out of pipes and duct tape and nails.
We built it out of walnuts, where the fuck the song goes.
Walnuts, coconuts, and pineapple shells.
Grapefruit, oranges, and coconuts. I don't know.
I mean, that's a far more wholesome direction than
walnuts,
I was going with the joke, so we're just gonna
pineapple
keep it there.
Smells. Grapefruit, oranges,
Gonna
and
send
coconuts.
Shinzo Abe straight to hell. You can cut that if you want.
No, we're keeping everything in. I don't care
You can cut that if you want.
We're keeping everything in.
Yeah, this is raw, uncut Donkey Kong gameplay.
I want to hear about raw, uncut Donkey.
You don't want to hear about raw, uncut Kong?
No, not particularly. Hey. Speaking of Kong, let's try talking about the game for the third time.
Yes, right. We should. The audience won't be privy to this, but our previous recordings were about this level of unfocused.
Yes. It was not much different.
Because I believe right now we're just cleaning up some extra objectives in the cabins.
We're just we're clearing out this little big tall cabin thing.
In the caves, which are pointedly not full of ice, as I once believed.
It's debatable. My belief is starting to fade as I've been presented with hard evidence that it may quite possibly be an ice cavern as well as a crystal cavern.
Your opinion on the matter has been swayed by my powerful rhetoric.
My view on the stance has shifted.
My legendary rhetoric skill check has convinced you that the ice caves in Donkey Kong 64 are just crystals?
Perhaps. I'm still not calling them ice walls because they're clearly made out of crystals. I'm not following what that one guide says. He's not 100% right.
Ah, well. I mean, every platformer needs an ice level. How else are you going to have terrible physics?
Yeah. Well, luckily that's not much in this level because there's only like one instance of that actually happening.
Yeah. We will get to that, viewer, and it is pretty fun.
Yeah. For like the first couple times. That's pretty much how you sum up this game.
It does one thing for a little while, and then
Chunky just fucking dies.
Yeah, I love the getting caught in the spotlight. You don't just go, oh no, oh I missed, and then you have to restart again. It's like, no, a Bitcoin assassin.
No, when
comes
an
out.
agent from the deep state comes out of hiding, comes out of fucking like Sam Fisher, just drops from the ceiling and just fucking takes you out like nothing.
Like you just get that game over screen, and in the distance you just hear, "Good work, 47."
The money will be deposited into your account.
Chunky Kong has been eliminated.
Oh, somebody's got to make a mod about that.
and then Hitman of what?
Just fucking assassinate Chunky in a Hitman game.
Like, yeah, I was about to say, which would be funnier, putting Hitman into Donkey Kong 64, or having a mission where you need to assassinate and disguise yourself as Chunky Kong?
Oh, latter, obviously.
It's just like big, bald, Chunky Kong just walking around the area.
No, it's just the N64 model ripped for Braden and put into the game.
I mean, that is kind of an unlockable you can get in Hitman 3.
It's like a low poly type of thing, or?
Yeah, if you like 100% complete the game, you get
it's like what you get in Hi-Fi.
Yeah, you get a special costume that's just his model from the PS2 games.
Oh shit! I haven't shown that off in a video. Spoiler. I need
previews of future content.
I need to get on the bonus stuff for Hi-Fi Rush because they updated the game since I've stopped the Let's Play.
Yeah, I need to get back in and play more of that because yeah, if any viewers are wondering about my opinion on Hi-Fi Rush, I'll spoil it for you right now. That game's awesome. It's so crazy that the game of the year 2023 came out in January. I mean, I say that, but yes, I did also play Baldur's Gate 3.
And it's even crazy that it came out again a couple months later.
Yeah, I've played it for 500 hours, actually. I have a problem, but you can't stop me.
No, the problem is you're not playing enough.
Yeah. Well, how do you know I'm not playing it right now?
Oh shit, multitasking.
You can tell because I'm not like sweating because I have to talk to women in that game. Hey man,
you have a girlfriend.
Yeah, that's why I said hey man and then nothing else. Well, hey, I haven't. Well, I actually do have a Steam category in my library of just shit I want to make my girlfriend play, and Baldur's Gate 3 is in there because I've been trying to get her. She's been trying to get into Dungeons and Dragons.
And that's a pretty good way to start into it, anyway.
But yeah, I feel like knowing my girlfriend and knowing that she has great taste, yeah, she would leave me for Carlac.
That seems to be the consensus with everybody.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we've been able to get, like, entirely different conversations in each.
Well, we have a lot of things to talk about because we haven't hung out in a while, and I mean, we're doing post-recording of this gameplay. So this gameplay is basically just keys jingling over our podcast that we're doing right now.
Pretty much. Oh God, am I was it interactive bait video or whatever it's called?
Are you Are you one of those videos where like a girl pretends to talk to you?
No, I'm like the videos. I'm like the videos where it shows a clip from a fucking TV show, and then they have fucking like skateboard, Subway Surfer in the fucking lower half of the fucking clip.
Yeah. So when you're editing this, put Subway Surfer's gameplay up on the right.
Okay.
And then put Family Guy funny moments on the left.
Right. I'm sure this will not get me taken down.
Like 1 pixel tall across the very bottom of the frame, put like an SJW Gets Owned compilation.
Okay. 1 pixel.
Yeah, 1 pixel wide, so like you can't even see it.
just like a very thin line of it.
Yeah. It's the only way to make Charlie Kirk's head look normal.
Hey.
But yeah, we are we do have some topics of discussion. As we've tried this recording a few times, we've broached a few, and I guess I did want to kind of go back to it so we could talk about it a bit more. How sort of tragic it is that this type of game didn't stick around to get iterated on, and instead it just kind of like died.
It kind of just died off or fell into this weird niche that a lot of developers never got the hang of.
Yeah,
properly.
Because I want to say like early PS2 era was kind of the last of 3D platformers like this, because a lot of them sort of transitioned more to action over platforming. Like,
Yeah.
especially away from collection after games. Well, after games like this, where
Yeah.
where you had to like scrape the map 5 or 6 times to grab every single little thing.
And then that's just the game. Like, yeah, there's some other aspects to it, like you get combat and you get like little mini games and stuff. But the overall point of the game is to collect the things.
Yeah.
To gather all the stuff up.
Yeah, and I feel like there's a lot. Well, I mean, I know there's a lot that can be refined to make that gameplay loop way more enjoyable, because I've played a hat in time.
Yeah. And that's to like introduce new things, get unique things here and there.
Yeah, and you can even do it with a minimum of 3D models if you prefer a 2D art style. There's a game, when I first wanted to talk about it, I forgot what it was called, because my brain doesn't work very well, but I've remembered it now via the power of the Google. It's a game called Demon Turf. Have you ever heard of this?
I feel like I have. There's a lot of games with demon in them, though, so...
Demon Turf is a really, really fantastic 3D platformer where the environments are all 3D and like your interactable objects are, but the characters are 2D sprites that just have like their kind of 8 viewing angles, kind of like Doom style. Yeah, that game is immaculate. Legitimately just one of the better platformers there are. Like, yeah, but platformers like this are definitely more of an indie scene thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's the same way for a lot of other dead genres, like point-and-click adventures is one I think of a lot, but another one that comes up a lot in discussion, especially if I'm talking to Evan, is like real-time strategy games.
Yeah.
Like those are just gone.
Yeah. The last one was like Age of Empires 4, and like nobody talks about it.
There used to be like a new huge one every year, because like, you know, Westwood came out with Dune 2, and there was like, you know, Warcraft and all those and everything else, and like they were huge hits, like commercially and critically.
Like we got Age of Empires 3 like remastered a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And like,
but that's a remaster.
And the newest one is like
not exactly an
nobody
iteration.
talks about Age of Empires 4. I played it for like half an hour, and it's like, okay, that's cool. And then I never went back to it, and apparently there's been updates to it, but it plays so differently from what I'm used to in Age of Empires 3 that I'm really not just super interested in it. It gave me the idea that it would be similar to the game that I've already played a bunch, and it really just wasn't all that.
2021? Goddamn.
That's when it came out. That's when Age of Empires 4 came out.
Initial release date, October 28th, 2021.
Oh my god.
Because I was going to say, the closest like elements of those dead genres still exist in other games. Like, there's still tons of real-time strategy as a part of like grand strategy games, like Total War Warhammer and shit like that, right? And I'm thinking like there's elements of point-and-click adventures in something like Disco Elysium, where you're still like moving around an environment to get dialogue and solve puzzles, but it's not like you know, rubbing butter on the mannequin to scare the cat in order to steal the fisherman's bucket of salt. It's like find pliers to open the locked door, but we're also just going to have dialogue and explore a really interesting setting. You know, you're taking the parts the parts that people actually liked and figuring out what parts people just put up with, and then just sort of getting rid of those.
Yeah. The thing that
Which is why you see so few platformers with like ice levels or like random go-kart mini games, because people didn't really latch onto those things as much as like having interesting platforming mechanics.
Yeah. And I think like a main issue with like some of the modern collectathon type games is that the developers think, oh, we'll just add like 100 things for them to collect, and that's what they like. And it's like, no, that's not what we like.
Yeah, it's like we liked the collectibles being an excuse to platform around an interesting world with interesting mechanics.
Yeah, like Mario Odyssey does a good job of like exploration and also collecting like a bunch of things.
Yeah,
but
because
it also kind of just like scatters a bunch of the moons around, and like they're in some weird spots here and there, but there's still, you know, interactivity with the level and stuff.
It's still like, oh, the name of this moon is like a funny little hint about a neat little thing you can do.
Yeah. Whereas in like Ukulele, because we talked about this in one of the failed recordings, that game has a bunch of collectibles for the sake of collecting. It doesn't. Because if I remember correctly, each world has 25. What the fuck are they called? Pages, I think.
Yeah.
25 pages, which are like jiggies, 200 quillies, which are notes, and like it's just a bunch of other crap. And the annoying part about the quillies, unlike the notes and like the bananas in this game, those are kind of just scattered around haphazardly in like random locations. Unlike in Kazooie Tooie in this game, they're put in places where the player would want to go and explore. Like it would be on a path, or it would be like in a little corner of this one room that you're in. But in Ukulele, they're kind of just here and there and all over the place. And there's 200 of them instead of like 100, which is a perfectly reasonable amount of, you know, tiny little things to collect in the game.
I feel like part of it comes from that same like compulsion that, like, as someone who does not play MMOs as much, and I know you do quite a bit more.
Yeah.
When I look at MMOs, I feel like that. Like I feel like why would I go out of my way to collect 150 of these pages when I'm only gonna have fun getting like 20 of them?
The thing of MMOs is that, like,
and there is more to it, and it's one of those situations where, and this is something I say a lot these days, the problem is my taste.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it except that it came across my desk.
Yeah, and the convenient thing about a lot of MMOs is that a lot of the collection type stuff is completely optional. Like, you don't need to do it. If anything, they're just a part of like the main quest and stuff. But for like professions, like I play WoW, and I barely pay attention to any of the professions once a new expansion launches, because there's just so much things to collect. You gotta mine a bunch of things. You gotta make sure you got all the right ingredients. Some of those ingredients that you can't even get from your professions, you would have to get from other players, and you know, social anxiety, stuff like that. But it's just so much work for things that probably won't even be worth it in the end. I want, at least I would want like a cool mount or like a cool transmog.
Yeah.
But that's about it from those games, really.
Yeah, and I think we've had this conversation a lot over the years about a lot of different games as, like, you know, those kind of like loot box grind, like game as daily ritual thing has become more common.
Yeah.
And I feel like if the experience of your game isn't more like engaging than just counting from 1 to 1,000 and then taking a shot of heroin, like, what's the point? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if I get out my calculator on my phone and I just type 1, 2, 3 up until I hit 1,000,000, and then I do a bump.
It just loses meaning at some point.
Yeah, that's there was some. Oh no, you know what it was recently?
What was that?
It was, I want to say I was talking with some of our friends who play Genshin Impact.
The sad people that do so.
Yeah, and it's like, I was talking with other Braden about it, I think, and I think I've isolated a change in the thought process that makes some people a bit more immune to it than others, and it's really harrowing. Because I was talking to him about it. We were talking about like getting achievements in that game and how he was like grinding them out, and I'm like, okay, is it that you are neutral and then you get the achievements and you are happy, you then go into like an elevated state? Or is your emotional state lowered until you have all the achievements and then you're back to neutral? And he's like, well, I feel bad if I don't have all the achievements and then I need to get them all so that I can feel good again. And I'm like, oh no.
Oh no. That
Whoopsie.
just feels like it's kind of an obsessive state at that point.
Yeah, and I mean, like, it's not that bad because it's like video game achievements, and like,
Yeah.
I've understood like the desire for completionism. I've had games where I'm like, where I just wanted to get all the achievements because I had one or two. But there's definitely an aspect of compulsion that some games try and like go after.
Yeah. Like, there are some games that I would do it just for the hell of it, just because it seems fun. And I like looking at like a 100% completion board. And it's like,
like,
I did that. All that, that was me.
Like if it's genuinely fun, like if the achievements or like the other, like if I'm grinding to get something that's like interesting to me, if it's like, oh, you have to do like, you know, a couple hours of missions or whatever, or like get this much money, and then you unlock a cool new thing that feels good to play with.
Yeah, that's like a sense of accomplishment.
Yeah, a sense of pride and accomplishment, if you will.
You know.
to borrow a Reddit thread from 10 years ago. Which I guess can bring us on to our next topic I wanted to bring up with you. Did you hear about the absolute state of the Battlefront Remaster collection?
I did, but we're almost out of time for this episode, so we're gonna have to save that.
We will save that for next time.
Yeah. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this episode. We didn't really talk a lot about the game, but that's fine. We finally got a fucking proper session in without, you know, any stupid interruptions. So, and next time on Donkey Kong 64, we're going to be doing more exploration of Crystal Caverns, exploring more of that little igloo area, which has a interactive thing for all the Kongs, so that's going to be fun and enjoyable for everybody to do. And yeah, Braden's going to be sticking around for the next couple of episodes as well, so look forward to that, and we'll see you guys next time.